At this time, as part of our pregame program, he joins for the Indigenous affirmation followed by a recording of the national anthem. Dans le cadre de nos cérémonies d'avant-match, réunis pour l'affirmation autochtone suivie de l'hymne national. As we gather for this event, the Gee-Gees pay respect to the Algonquin people, who are the traditional guardians of this land. Nous reconnaissons le lien sacré de longue date lié sur ce territoire qui demeure non cédé. Nous rendons également hommage à toutes les personnes autochtones qui habitent Ottawa, qu'elles soient de la région ou d'ailleurs au Canada. We acknowledge the traditional knowledge keepers, both young and old, and we honor their greatest leaders, past, present, and future. Merci. Thank you.
You just had a feeling it would come down to this. It's a phrase that's been said 4 times before. Ottawa versus Queens for the OUA Women's Soccer Championship. Music to the ears of U Sports soccer fans. Graham Naismith here with Declan DeBarp alongside. And Declan, this one has the makings of a classic.
Right you are, Graham. A lot of history between these two teams. They've met quite a few times in the final. The most recent time in 2021. The Gaels not in the finals, the semifinals, knocked the Gee-Gees out right here on home turf, 2-0 that day. A lot of familiar faces between these teams. We had a mid-season clash that ended 0-0. It should be an absolute classic today.
Yeah, they did meet back in September, and it was 0-0, but you get the sense it may be different today. We'll get into the team news now, and there's not much news to report for the Gee-Gees as it's pretty much status quo for their starting 11. Steve Johnson sticks with his plan of flip-flopping goalkeepers on a game-by-game basis. Cassidy Jocelyn started the midweek semifinal against McMaster after Julianne Lacasse was the goalkeeper of choice in the semifinals, and they're back to Lacasse today. Jenna Matsukubo gets the start against her former team. She spent 4 years with the Gaels before coming to the University of Ottawa to pursue her graduate studies in medicine. McMaster simply couldn't handle her on Wednesday evening as Matsukubo had a hand in both Gee-Gees' goals. As for Queens, the news isn't so much who's on the pitch, but who isn't. OUA East Rookie of the Year, Letta Nahin, out for this one. She was third on the team with 8 goals in the regular season, but hasn't appeared in the playoffs as of yet. Remember, she also missed the lone regular season meeting between these two teams back in September. Marissa Gravel also out after picking up an injury against Nipissing, and the team's leading goal scorer, Matson Strickler, is dealing with an injury. Head coach Dave McDowell before the game said they hope to get maybe 10 minutes out of their leading goal scorer. Kirsten Tynan is the first-choice goalkeeper, as she has been for the past 3 seasons, and Claire Sun, the first-team All-Star, is the anchor at the back. Declan, it's practically perfect conditions for this one. About 5 degrees at kickoff. Sun with not a cloud in the sky. No wind to speak of here at Matt Anthony Field.
And that win played a factor in the game against McMaster. A 2-1 win for the Gee-Gees that included an own goal scored by McMaster. That really the only game this season that I could say the Gee-Gees were really pushed back into that one. McMaster came here and kept with the Gee-Gees step for step. Even when the Gaels came here, it was the Gee-Gees who bossed that game for large stretches of that game. Tynan unbeaten in this one. This game will require a decider though, Graham.
And it is Kirsten Tynan who made a pivotal penalty save against the Western Mustangs in Queen's semifinal game to secure them a spot in this OUA championship as well as a spot at the national championship. And we'll see how Queens moves around their lineup. to account for the injuries. It looks like Seema Sakran is actually starting near the front here, generally a midfielder. Lily Goss wasn't a starter when these two teams played here earlier this season, but Goss in the starting lineup today, the only Kingston-born player on the team. And it looks like she's heading over to take this opening kickoff as we're just about set to go. These ones typically low-scoring affairs, Declan, and we'll have to see if this one's just like that or if the teams open it up a bit.
Gee-Gees 10-7 record against the Gaels in playoff action going all the way back to 1967. This should be a very close-knit affair. 1 versus 3 in the country. Just an absolute fantastic way to spend your Saturday. Both teams obviously have already booked their ticket to the national championship in Kingston. We'll see if this is the last meeting between these two teams this season.
Yeah, imagine a third at the U Sports National Championship, which is being held in Kingston, getting started on Thursday. A capacity crowd at Matt Anthony Field, and we're underway as the Gaels punt it towards Rosalie Cote, the starting right back for the Gee-Gees today, and Cote remains on the ball. Getting it to Jenna Matsukubo, who, as we said in the open, had a hand in the team's semifinal victory, contributing to both goals in a 2-1 win over McMaster. Goss on the ball, but it's picked off by Eliane Gervais. Cote now looking down the line for Matsukubo, but that one rolls out of play.
The Gaels are well aware of the speed that Matsukubo presents. I think this game will be one down those flanks. The Gee-Gees a team that are so dominant in the air. Set pieces a key for Steve Johnson's crew, and Matsukubo will be at the heart of that.
Gee-Gees also known to score an early goal this season. They had needed only 90 seconds to get the opening goal against Toronto in the quarterfinals. And you mentioned set pieces. They will be key today. This one moved forward by Smith, looking for Prevost to get onto it. That's Claire Sun, the first-team All-Star, an Ottawa product, and she's on the ball here. Looking up the line, but it's picked off by Cote, right to Seema Sakran. Sakran looking over the top, headed down by Gabrielle Furland. Loose ball, Sakran on it again, but her pass just misses the intended target, that is K-Roos, but she will stay on it, and that one's off of Adrienne Devlin, playing in her final game at Matt Anthony Field, the fourth-year player. Slowing it down with Alicia Sutcliffe, one of the other veterans on this Queens team, playing it right back. Loose ball through the midfield, gathered by Brzezowski. Back for Sun once more. This is the first time these two teams are meeting in the pivotal championship game since 2006. This one slipped through, but it's going to roll through to Julianne Lacasse. They've met 4 times previously, Declan. The Gee-Gees have won 3 of them. Curiously, this is the first time they're meeting at Matt Anthony Field in the championship game. They met in Ottawa in 2000, and that game actually played at Frank Clair Stadium. Sakran on the ball. Looking to pull it back in through. Could they be opening up here? To ground goes Devlin, and it's going to be a free kick called against Tatiana K-Roos.
Experienced play there by Devlin. She's a nifty operator there, put herself in a position to take the foul. She was the last one who touched it, so a big play there by Devlin to prevent a corner.
You can see the shadows on Matt Anthony Field here, but it is a sunny day, and it is quite warm when you get into the sun, but in the shade it's only about 4 degrees as the long ball from Furland is off the mark. Sutcliffe launches in the throw-in, just misses Devlin, and Furland's there again. Picked up by Kendra Kuto, who will be quite the key player in the midfield for the Gaels today. Remember, she was an all-star last season playing as a center back, but she's been moved into more of a holding midfield role this year and has been very, very important for Queens. This ball actually rolled down the driveway just behind the Minto Sports Complex, so we'll have a momentary pause. And here's one for you, Declan, my favorite fact coming into this one. There's only one player in this game today who has scored a goal for Queens against the Gee-Gees, and it's Jenna Matsukubo, who's now playing for the Gee-Gees. We'll see if that changes today, however. As loose ball first onto this one is Glavis, giving it back to Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe through the middle for Claire Sun. Sun's going to drive forward as she's prone to do, looking long for Nahin. Is it a bit too long? However, it is. We mentioned in the open her twin sister Letta out of the lineup today, the OUA East Rookie of the Year, but Vita is in the lineup. And she didn't have a bad rookie season either. She got one of the 2 goals in the team's quarterfinal victory over Nipissing.
We're yet to see Letta here at Matt Anthony Field, as you had already mentioned in the build-up. She missed the first game of the season. Queens, they were missing her, missed their offensive impetus in that game, a 0-0 draw that was always going in the favor of the University of Ottawa Gee-Gees. For the Gaels today, it'll have to be a focus on attack, a focus of driving through the middle. The Gee-Gees so strong out on the wing. It worked for McMaster to play through the middle. They had a number of opportunities created against this Ottawa Gee-Gees team. An opportunity in the first 10 minutes where a player was in all alone against Cassidy Jaws Land and put it about 2 feet wide of the post. You'll have to be clinical to beat the Gee-Gees. They haven't given up a goal here in quite some time.
Bouncing ball headed forward by Kuto. Nahin keeps it in. Can Kuto switch the play? That's what she's looking to do, but instead settles for going back to Sun. Dropping off to get it is Lily Goss. We said the only Kingston product on the team, but you can't really say she's Kingston developed this. She actually played for Ottawa South United. She made the trip in from Kingston 4 times a week to play with OSU, and she's playing against a number of OSU players herself, including Nebo Zlamini and Maya Smith. That one launched in rather awkwardly and headed away by Cote, kept in by Matsukubo. Eliane Gervais. That pass cut off by Glavis. And she'll go all the way back. First action of the game for Kirsten Tynan. Tynan has been a mainstay in goal for the Gaels the past 3 seasons. And if this one does go the distance, she's quite the penalty stopper as well. We remember she stopped a penalty in that playoff game you were mentioning earlier, Declan. She stopped Emma Lefebvre in stoppage time. To the near side for Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe went down with an injury in that regular season game between the two teams here at Matt Anthony Field. Launched forward by Sun, bouncing ball. Cote can't rise to it. Nahin gets there first, but Maya Smith's across, banks it off of her. Nahin still on it. Sakran making a run in the box, back for Lily Goss. Goss is going to try to cross it in there towards the back post, headed away by Adrienne Devlin. Still a loose ball, gathered up by K-Roos. K-Roos, it goes out of play. A number of referees in the stands there to the right making the call, as it is a capacity crowd here at Matt Anthony Field. The Ottawa Gee-Gees fans to our right. Queens Gaels travel well. They're off to our left.
It was a beautiful little ball in there by Goss. It's hung up perfectly, and K-Roos rose to the occasion. It was a big header from Gee-Gees rookie defender, Gabriella Furland. Good early action here by the Gaels as they've absorbed the Gee-Gees wave, who likes to score early, as you mentioned.
Devlin looking long. Sutcliffe can't deal with it. Here comes Oriente. Alana Oriente onto the ball. She's into the box here. Prevost loose. That's where they're looking, but Sun's right there. Perfectly positioned as always. Never a step out of place for the Ottawa product.
Sun was so good in that game earlier this season. Broke up a couple of vital opportunities. She's been staple to Cassandra Prevost here. I imagine Prevost will see a lot of Sun in this game.
Devlin launches it in for Gervais, but it's taken away by Glavis. Driving forward is Goss. Goss is going to stay on it here with a nutmeg. Can she pick out a pass looking for Sakharin, and it's not going to be the right weight as it rolls all the way through for Julianne Lacasse. That's an instance where they're missing Matson Strickler, their leading goal scorer, who generally leads the line for Queens. Furland, great ball up for Eliane Gervais. Looking for Oriente. It's just a foot or two ahead of her, and it's going to roll out of play. Kuto dropping off to get it. Asaf elects to look long. Maya Smith flies in there. It's picked up by Goss. Through the middle now for Sakharin. Maya Smith. Pressure on, good pressing play by both of these teams. And Zlamini not able to get there ahead of Kuto. Kuto looking wide for Nahin. Nahin driving in, looking for a through ball. Devlin always ready for it, and she gets it right to Rosie Cote. Rosie Cote maybe has the best medals for games played ratio in the history of youth sports. She's played in about 20 regular season games. She'll get another medal today, and she already has an OUA gold and a U Sports bronze to her credit. Back heel to Devlin. Devlin driving in. Will she try her luck? She does. It's blocked and loose, and Tynan's off of her line to gather it.
You mentioned Cote. She's been very good this year in that right back spot, replacing Trinity Esprit, the longtime Gee-Gees all-star, who's gone on to greener pastures. Big shoes to fill. She's done it admirably this season between her and Dussault. They haven't looked out of place.
Yep, Maya Dussault on the bench and available for Ottawa today. out of Gatineau, Quebec. And we look at the touchline. Steve Johnson and Dave McDowell have a combined 65 years of coaching experience between the two of them at the OUA level, and 16 Coach of the Year awards, including McDowell winning this year's, which, as I've said before, actually seems a bit low considering they've been at it for so long and their teams have been so good. Only 16 between the two of them. And Claire Sun intercepts that pass. It's going to be a big task to break through her. These two of the three best defenses in the country, Declan. Queens have given up 3 goals this season in the regular season. Ottawa gave up only 4. St. FX, the other team in there, they only gave up 3 themselves. Ooh, that's a dangerous ball across the middle. Alana Oriente's going to get on it. She's got Sutcliffe draped all over her, but she kicks it around. Oriente's still going, but it's taken away well by Medina Asaf. Sakran bounces it off. Goss with the first-time ball over. Devlin so well positioned, though, against the on-rushing player. That's K-Ruse, first-year midfielder, who's playing more of a wing position today.
Great individual effort there by Oriente. She tried to create a little half bit of space. She's so tricky on the ball, impossible to get the ball off. She's got quick feet. She's on it now and always so calm. She's going to be a real problem down the flank for the Gaels today.
Good technique by Devlin to take that hot shot from Smith. Matsukubo's on the far side. Looks like she'll be matched up with Sophie Miranda today. Bouncing ball, and it's picked up by Miranda on the far side. Kuto had to be sure of herself with that square ball, and Nahin briefly kept it in, but now it is out of play.
And we know how the Gee-Gees like to switch their wingers, so it'll be interesting to see if they follow them across, if it's a straight match for each other. Both Oriente and Matsukubo excellent with their weaker feet.
Oriente especially, she takes corner kicks with her weaker left foot. Might see that soon. You mentioned set pieces will be so important today. Prevost hasn't touched the ball yet through the first 11 minutes. The conference's leading goal scorer, and Sun still doesn't let her touch the ball. Shoves her right off. And that one's away by Kuto.
Prevost had a frustrating game against McMaster. It looks like Sun is picking up on a lot of those similar traits all up in her business and going to receive a few kicks, make sure that she can't get on the ball, get comfortable with it. But we know Cassandra Prevost only needs 1 touch. 23 regular season goals, breaking her own record for Gee-Gees single season goal scoring.
Remarkably, she was only second in the country as Alia Rowe of Cape Breton had 25. Might be a bit of an asterisk on that one, as 12 of them came in 2 games. So she had a couple of big games, and then she was consistent throughout the season. But it'll be interesting to see who gets consideration for the National Player of the Year award. Dancing on the ball here. Nahin cutting inside. Nahin. She's going to shoot it. Is that going to dip down? It's going to dip down, but over the bar and out. And Julianne Lacasse has an opportunity for the goal kick.
Second opportunity on the far side that Nahin has created a little bit of space for herself with some tricky footwork. Cote giving her a little bit too much space and time on that wing. She drops her with a drop shoulder and is able to deliver a ball in.
Through the middles. Lamini. Haven't said her name too much today yet. Trying to find some space. Looks like she'll be matched up with either Kuto or Goss today. Maya Smith clips it up. Matsukubo, great close control, but then punts it right into the bench. Julianne Lacasse gets the start today for Ottawa, and she's in her 3rd year with the program, but remarkably has only played 45 minutes against the Gaels in her entire career. She got the start in the regular season game last year between the two teams, kept a clean sheet through the first 45, and then gave way to Cassidy Jocelyn in a game that ended 1-1. Cassandra Prevost and Rhea Athwal getting the goals in that one. Prevost still not allowed onto it. It's Asaf who takes her down, and Gervais it picked off by Glavis. Glavis now for Lily Goss, and she's got some space to drive forward. Instead, she likes to play an early ball, and I'm not sure that was the right call. And then she wanted a call, nothing coming. Now Maya Smith steps up, looking for Jenna Matsukubo. Matsukubo across for Prevost. She gets there ahead of Sun. Prevost dropping it off for Gervais. And then Sun calmly over to Nahin. Sun has been as advertised, so good positionally for the Gaels. K-Ruse, can she drive it Devlin? Instead she plays it through the middle, and Zlamini picks it off.
And if you're Dave McDowell, you're hoping that Sun can go the full 90 minutes. She's looked no worse for wear, though she does have that right knee wrapped up. Wasn't something that featured when she was here last time earlier this season.
This time of year, everyone's dealing with some bumps and bruises, some more serious than others. As we've mentioned, the laundry list of injuries for Queens. Sutcliffe getting it to Goss. Goss always has a couple of moves in her locker, and you saw one right there. I think that's the second time today she's gotten Brzezowski with the nutmeg. Matsukubo in full flight, looking through for Prevost. Prevost square ball for Zlamini. It's picked off by Sophie Miranda. Miranda steps in front of Nahin. Nahin's going to get back on it, however. That one picked off by Gervais. Gervais with some room to operate down the line for Matsukubo. Sun across to get her. Can Matsukubo open up some space for a cross? No real support for her right now. Kote arriving now. Matsukubo cutting it across. It's up in the air off of Miranda, and it's going to be the first set piece of the game for Ottawa.
This will be a big one. The Gee-Gees like to crowd the keeper. Tynan, a big body in there. She's diminutive of her box. Watch out for, obviously, Cassandra Prevost, but Maya Smith, a player that can rise high and knock them down into the net. Gee-Gees scored one off of a loose corner against McMaster.
Prevost, Ferland, Smith, and Gervais to be favored to get on this one. Matsukubo showing short. Alana Oriente is getting ready to whip this one in with her left foot. As we said, a right-footed player. She delivers corner kicks with her left. Here it comes. Oh, they're going to try to put it right in. It's punched away by Tynan. Loose ball up the air, up high of Brzezowski, and then it rolls out for a goal kick.
An awkward bounce for Brzezowski. That one bobbled up and hit her right in the head. Oriente had scored a Galactico earlier this season. She put it right in. This one, no assistance from the win, but it speaks to the amount of whip she can get on that football. She curled it in. That one almost found its way into the top corner.
Yeah, any kind of touch on those type of balls into the box can really, really cause trouble. 15 minutes gone. That probably the first real clear-cut chance of the game, and this goal kick's taken by Gervais. It's off of Prevost, going to charge forward. Sun safely off to the side. Sutcliffe's running it down here against Oriente. And Sutcliffe will settle for the throw-in. And it's going to be Ottawa ball right in front of the Queens faithful, and they take it quickly, not allowing the official to change her mind. Brzezowski switches play really well for Kote. Up for Matsukubo. Kote's going to join in, but then Matsukubo took a tumble off the tackle of Miranda, and some indecision here between the officiating crew. It's going to be Ottawa ball. Matsukubo taking it quickly for Kote. Kote, can she deliver a cross? No, she cannot, but she'll win herself a corner kick.
Gee-Gees really pushing. This another big opportunity. That Galactico attempt by Oriente will stick in the mind of Tynan. This one that I imagine will be put right on the penalty spot, but a good opportunity here for the Gee-Gees to establish their lead just over 15 minutes into this one.
Matsukubo shows short again. Rather half-heartedly, it has to be said, as they're looking to get a couple of bodies out of the box to allow some space for their attackers. This one swung in, almost head on by Smith. Sakharin got a piece of it, and it's further cleared by Nahin. Or excuse me, no, it was Glavis who was all the way back to clear it. And the Gaels survive another.
That one awkward for Maya Smith. She had to dip on down. You could see what Oriente was trying to do to get a flick on to create a little bit of chaos in the middle. The Gee-Gees have done that to great success this season. That time it just didn't come off.
This one up rather than out by Miranda, and Kuto heads it down. Zlamini looking over. Here comes Prevost, and then it's cleared away by Kuto. No nonsense defending. Sutcliffe helps it along even further for a throw-in.
That one looked like it just got caught up in the sun. It was a good improvisation there from Nebo Zalmini. She flicked it up. That one usually so perfect. Exactly the balls Cassandra Prevost wants to run onto. It sold her a little short and awkwardly rolled off her back.
The sun, by the way, is kind of right behind us, so you could see there Tynan and Sophie Miranda shielding their eyes. So any crosses coming in from this near side could be real trouble for the goalkeepers down to our left. And this one will be a goal kick. As you said, Declan, Ottawa 10-7 against Queens in playoffs or nationals matches. However, they have lost 2 of the last 3 at home. So we'll see if they can alter that. However, these two teams, certainly the class of the OUA, 8 of the last 12 championships have been won by either Ottawa or Queens. Good turn from Brzezowski. Forward for Oriente, but it's Miranda who picks it off. Or excuse me, no, it was Alicia Sutcliffe, rather, who was in there to pick it off. K-Roos. Good tackle. Great tackle by Devlin, winning the ball. Good bit of one-touch work there. Zlamini flicked off Kuto, but nothing coming from the official.
Full-blooded tackle there from Devlin. She really slid in and created that opportunity, got right back up and kept playing.
Matsukubo with a quick throw to Kote. Sun's right there to defend it, however, and moves it forward. Matsukubo back on it. Matsukubo towards the corner. Still putting in some work here, Jenna Matsukubo getting it to Kote. She'll cross it in. Kuto heads it away. And Slamini all the way back for Furland.
And Graham, we were talking about OUA championships. Important to remember the Gee-Gees defending OUA gold medalists. That a 1-0 win against York University on this pitch last season.
Yeah, these games are so often very close. It was a 1-0 decision last year as this ball's up in the air. Saf deals with it well. And Kuto all the way back for Sutcliffe. It was a penalty from Slamini that was the difference. And the year before that, the game did go to penalties at Western. Queens winning that one. 2019, a 2-0 decision for York. 2018, 1-0 for Ottawa. So it's always very, very close games. Very rarely do you see the score get overinflated in these matches. That one missed by Goss, and Slamini's on it. She's had no time today, Nebo Slamini, but she can turn and run forward here. No, instead she tries to pass it. It's picked off by Sutcliffe. And Devlin wants that call, and she's going to get it. As we said, Queens have conceded just 3 times in the regular season, but then they conceded twice in their final game against Nipissing to pick up their lone loss. And that partially the reason this final game is being played here and not down at Richardson Stadium. Ottawa also has a superior goal differential as this one rolls through to Tynan. Tynan looking for a drop kick. That one more of a line drive. Bounces over Gervais. Gervais on it now, though. Smith steps around, plays it square for Gervais. That one over the head and flicked into the stands by Oriente.
A little bit awkward there from Oriente, but good idea for the Gee-Gees. Oriente in a little bit of space, had time to run. We haven't seen her do it too many times. She's been marshaled very well by Sutcliffe.
Sakran on the press here. Oh, and she's taking the ball away from Furland. Seema Sakran creating the turnover. Right in there is Gervais, however, to win it, and then another uncompromising challenge by Eliane Gervais. Flying back to get it, though, is Nahin. Slamini picks it off. Oriente making her way forward, but then it's Nahin right in there again to get it right back. Nahin drives forward. She's got Sakran with her. She steps through Smith. Tackle put in by Rosie Cote. Brzezowski doing well to hold off Glavis, and now a bit of time for Cote to operate. Looking long and over the top for Matsukubo. Runs around Miranda. And Claire Sun's going to let this one roll out. Excellent position, as always, for that center back.
Matsukubo can fly, and that one looked, when it was delivered by Cote, just a little too far. It ended up being too far, but without Sun, Matsukubo would have been in on the other side of it. Nebo Zalmini, though, will return to her, the Gee-Gees makeshift number 10. She looks like she's been caught in a couple of mines today. Her decision-making usually so crucial from getting the Gee-Gees from point A to point B, usually the start of springing the ball out wide. Today, she's passed when she probably should have run with it and run with it when she probably should have passed.
Speaking of running with it, here comes Nahin flying forward. Nahin stepping around Cote. Nahin trying a shot, blocked well by Furland. Up in the air, taken down. And that's K-Ruse. So K-Ruse and Glavis have switched sides. Glavis now on this near side. Looks like K-Ruse may have actually dropped into more of a midfield role than a winger, as this Queens formation is certainly a fluid one. A couple of bodies warming up for Ottawa. Looks like Mangia Ricina and Olivia Chavanos, among others. Queens also they were getting limbered up momentarily ago, but have since sat down. It's going to be an Ottawa throw-in.
And this is usually the time of the game where Steve Johnson looks to introduce some troops. We usually see Ava Buiti, who notably is not warming up. It looks like we might get a change up front. You mentioned Mangia Ricina, 2 goals in the final 3 games of the season for Mangia Ricina. So an option, a little bit of a different look from Oriente, a player who can fly but not as technical.
Moving in, K-Ruse taken away well by Slamini. Cote lunges in, still on his Nahin. Nahin not being allowed to turn, and they play it back to Kuto. Sakran. Sakran turning around. Can she fire one in here? Goss. First real pressure here for Queens, where they've had sustained ball in the Gee-Gees half, and this one's out of play by Oriente.
Big clearance there from Oriente. Brought for a moment the Queens attack to a standstill. The Gee-Gees always so good in pressing the ball. We're looking for it right now. It looks like it's gone under the stand, so we'll get a ball there from the far side. But this is what we need to see from Queens, an effort to actually go out, play aggressive football against the University of Ottawa. They didn't do that when they came here. They were content to sit back and play for a point. This one that, needs to be decided.
Yeah, in that first game of the season, Queens was coming off of a back-to-back. They were on the road. It was actually only Ottawa's fourth game of the year, and they'd been off for 2 weeks. They had a bye week. So I don't think either team was really at full flight, so to speak, when they met. And this one already a much more entertaining game than that one. It was not the standard we're used to seeing between these two teams. Kuto goes to ground and wins it. Here comes Goss stepping around. Goss looking through. Glavis is going to get onto it here. Lacasse well off her line, and she intercepts.
That's what you got to give Lacasse credit for. She's always attentive back here. When you are a netminder for one of these types of teams where you don't face too many shots, coming out, clearing off the line becomes so important. That one competently done by Lacasse. She gets down, makes sure the ball doesn't get past her. But what a ball right there by the Queens Gaels as they look to break in, and it's the Gaels' first opportunity really of this game.
Yep, great ball through from Lily Goss. And Miranda's set to take this throw in. Queens, to their credit, really ran the gauntlet in the playoffs. They faced Nipissing in the first round, the only team that beat them during the regular season. They then go to Western to play the conference's statistically second-best team, and now they're in Ottawa playing statistically the conference's best team. So I guess the 27 Yankees weren't available, or they would have tried to shoehorn them in there as well. And it's not going to get any easier for Queens as they'll be in the national championship next week, and always quality teams in the U Sports National Championship.
Most of it wrapped up as well. So a long list of fantastic teams yet to play, but you know what they say, Graham, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best, and that starts right here at Matt Anthony Field.
Yeah, right you are. That's the saying. Oriente all the way back for Furland, who lofts this one up rather than away. Gervais helps along to Prevost. Prevost not being allowed to turn. A clever flick off to Oriente, and it's a Saf who comes in to poke it away.
So cheeky from the Gee-Gees striker there. The no-look back heel that Oriente flew onto.
Speaking of the Nationals, we know who 7 of the 8 teams are going to be. Queens and Ottawa obviously in there. Montreal and Laval will be going as the Quebec representatives. Laval having won that championship last night. And then Trinity Western and UBC going from out west. Trinity Western, an upset of sorts against UBC in that final. So Trinity Western goes in as the top seed for Canada West. And then St. FX is the team going from out east. And if I'm going to the national championships, I want to avoid St. FX unbeaten and untied this season. And they really weren't pushed in the playoffs against a really good Cape Breton team. And then the final spot will go to either Western or McMaster. They're playing in the OUA third place game this evening out in London, a 7 p.m. start there. Winner goes to Nats. Goss not able to get onto this one. Devlin, fourth-year player, the captain, only remaining link to that Fichu world champion team in 2019. Can Prevost get into her running here against Asaf? Trying to slip around her. Asaf had to be careful and puts out to the side.
Asaf has been so good on the ball today, so calm and disrupting, and it looks like we're going to get our first change of the day.
And these are the subs we were talking about. Bouiti in, as well as Flo Laroche, and it's Oriente out as expected, and they're going to take out Eliane Gervais for Bouiti.
Bouiti had a very good game against McMaster, bossed the midfield, came in and acted as a destroyer, but a true number 8 Bouiti. She can play up and down the pitch, not afraid to get involved in the attack, show up late in the box. There's quite a strike on her as well. She is a different look from Gervais in the midfield, and then Flo Laroche, traditional winger. She loves to get up and down the pitch, can play a solid defensive performance, but also chip in on the attack.
And there's La Roche's first action. Good tackle put in. It's going to be a throw in here for the Queens Gaels. Yeah, I like Buiti and what she can bring to the midfield. More of a mercurial presence, kind of seems to find those pockets of space and can go up and win a header as well. So even though she's not quite as tall as Gervais, she can really get up there, and she scored a header in the season opener against Trent.
She was unlucky not to score a header against McMaster in the dying embers where she rose. The Gee-Gees had 2 opportunities to put it into a basically empty net. I think it surprised Buiti in that example, but she'd love to get on the score sheet in the playoffs.
Bounced back by La Roche. Up from Devlin. Prevost now sees it. Now she's going to get onto it. And it's cleared away by Asaf. I don't think Prevost saw it up there in the air because she didn't show much interest in it, and then kind of seemed to get a beat on it, and it's going to be Ottawa ball.
I think Prevost assumed that she was coming back from an offside position, but played on by the far side.
Don't think we've seen an offside called yet today, as that's kind of an interesting twist.
The team's much content to try and play through each other. We've seen a lot of the long ball.
Ferland taking this one kind of back to where it came from. Left-footed ball through the midfield, grabbed by Kuto, who's just been everywhere today for Queens. Fouls also at a premium. It's been a clean game, a well-officiated game thus far with 15 minutes to go in this opening half. Nahin, she's been impressive for Queens. Nahin trying to skip past Kote. Jenna Matsukubo flying back. Left-footed ball in by Nahin. Oh, it's going to bounce through, and it's just wide by Glavis. It missed everyone, and I don't think Glavis was really expecting it.
No, she wasn't, and you could tell that. You could almost feel her eyes widening as that ball fell perfectly for her, and she just hit it with the outside of her boot, sending it wide. Another fantastic ball, though, from Nahin to create a little bit of space and swing it in, and then Glavis just missed it.
Up for Zlamini. Yeah, just took a look at the replay. It was an odd one, a kind of an awkward one bouncing through, missed by Devlin, and then fell to Glavis, who did not get all of it. Glavis, one of a couple of British Columbia products on the Gaels, including goalkeeper Kirsten Tynan. Loose ball through the middle. Buiti's going to lay claim to it and calmly bounce it back to Devlin. Devlin. Left-footed ball up. That one's past Sutcliffe, but not past Asaf. Buiti, first action of the game, and it's a great first touch for her in her first action of this game. Zlamini bounces it all the way back to Ferland. Right now for the Gaels, we see Matson Strickler is warming up. And there's a foul on Prevost. Asaf took her out.
I think that this is the first free kick of the game, and one hard fought by Cassandra Prevost. She wanted a few of the calls against McMaster's. I wonder if we'll see a Gaels change relatively soon. You'd mentioned Strickland warming up on the side. She's so influential through the middle of the park.
Laid off for Zlamini. Can it open up? Great tackle by Kuto, and then she's fallen on the ball. And what's the call going to be here? I can't tell if she's calling a free kick or a drop ball. And she's sending Kuto off because I think she's bleeding there. And is this a drop ball or a free? It wasn't a clear signal.
It looked like it should have been a handball.
Yeah, I guess it is going to be a free kick. It wasn't terribly clearly signaled by the official, but it is going to be a free kick in a very dangerous position. Zlamini and Prevost having a look at it. I think it may be Prevost here to drive it towards goal.
It's right at the top of the D1. You can get up and down. The Gaels will want to quickly bring their player back on. As Kuto, a big head. She's been diminutive in the air, though I don't think we'll see this one get swung in. Imagine Cassandra Prevost is staring down that top left corner.
And look at where Tynan's set up. She's all the way to the left of her goal. It's gaping wide open to her right. We'll see if Prevost fancies dipping this one over. Kuto's back on the pitch, by the way. Just got patched up, and you can see her running onto screen right now. I'm really surprised where Tynan's set up here as she wants to see around that wall. Indirect free kick. This one laid off. Zlamini scores!
And listen to the roar. Zlamini scored in the game against York to give the Gee-Gees a 1-0 lead. That was the difference in that one. Zlamini opens the scoring today, and you mentioned Tynan's positioning. Not quick enough if you see her run right over. And the Gaels trail by 1. This Fortress and the Gee-Gees will be looking to lock it on up. We're going to see a change from the Gaels.
So Zlamini, who was the hero last season, gets the goal here. She's got a knack for scoring in OUA finals, and Dave McDowell will wait no more. He's bringing on Madsen Strickler. So Strickler, who he said in the pregame can probably only give him 10 minutes, is coming on with 10 minutes to go in this opening half. Also coming on is Morgan Fenton. And we're back here at Matt Anthony Field. So Zlamini gets the goal after it was a bit of a weird free kick as Kendra Kuto fell on the ball, blocked away there by Cote. And it's eerily similar to last season when Zlamini scored very late in the first half off of a penalty. Launched forward. Kuto running it down, and she banks it all the way back, and Tynan puts it up. But yes, I'm no goalkeeping expert, but I'm very surprised with that positioning from Tynan. Could Zlamini get another? Stopped by Tynan. She was well positioned that time, it has to be said.
That one a tipping shot that I think Zlamini wanted to get a little bit more whip on, put in the far left corner. That one easy for Tynan.
Dropped and booted forward by Tynan, looking for Strickler. She was not moving very well at all in warm-up. Madsen Strickler, who led the Gaels this season in goals. Matsukubo. Picked off by Lily Goss. That one's up, but Smith is right over there. So now the Gaels are going to have a big task to get through this Ottawa defense, which, as we said, have been very, very good this season.
Gaels have had their chances, and a lot of them have come from the player who was just on the ball in Nahin.
Down the line looking for Nahin again. Katie Brzezowski's all the way over there to get it, and she's going to try to let it roll out, and she'll do just that. Well held off.
Making way for the substitutions, just confirmation is Kay Ruse and Glavas. Glavas, the one who had the opportunity, it fell to her that she just sliced wide.
So now it looks like Sakarin's dropped back into her natural midfield position. Strickler up in her usual position at the top, and then Fenton on the near side wing. Strickler's going to run down this ball on Smith, and the two Ottawa South players going at it briefly, and it's over the way to another Ottawa South player, Claire Sun. Kuto up for Strickler. She misses that one, and it's cleared away by Furland. Zlamini. Prevost trying to lay it off for Buiti. It's picked off by Asaf. Sun. Stepping inside, Sophie Miranda. Great bit of skill there from Kendra Kuto. Just moved her way out of a phone booth and gets it to Sutcliffe. No one down the line here for Queens at all, so Sutcliffe's going to take it herself. Flo Laroche holds her off really well, however. Absolutely no one looking down the line. Interesting as this one's headed up by Kuto. Bouncing ball, Sakarin gets on it. Some pushing in the back from Fenton. Call made by the official.
Good strength shown there from Devlin. An awkward ball that bounced up. I mentioned Nebo Zalmini in the first half. It looks like she's calmed down. That goal has really settled her. She made a nice little move a little bit earlier on. Really feeling the confidence in the midfield now is Nebo Zalmini.
Clipped forward, taken by Sutcliffe. Zalmini had a breakout campaign, 6 goals, 9 assists. Remarkable considering she had 5 goals in her career coming into the season, more than doubled it in this, her 3rd year. We think all the way back to 2021 for Zlamini. She scored her first career goal. It took her all of about 3 minutes as she opened the scoring against York in the season opener, the first game back from COVID. Fenton. Sutcliffe, ball through the midfield. Strickler's on it and going to move forward. Nahin. Nahin looking for someone to combine with. Now it's Goss for Fenton. Fenton, can she create some space to put in a cross? Tackle by Devlin. This one's off of Fenton, so she keeps it in. Fenton, great bit of skill there. Can she move in across? Blocked by Devlin. Should be a corner kick. Oh, it's not. It's going to be a goal kick.
Great bite back there from Devlin, who bit a little bit on the move, but gets back just in time to knock it out. I think she's a little bit lucky there to be given a goal kick.
Yeah, both officials agreeing with the call, however. 5 and change plus stoppages. I'd expect about 2 minutes of stoppage time in this first half. And it is 1-0 for Ottawa. Nebos Lamini, indirect free kick, the difference thus far as Furlan goes in there to clear it away. The only first-year player on the field right now for Ottawa. Strickler poking it through. Can Nahin get onto it? No, she cannot. It's too heavy and out of play.
It's been a frantic first half here. Both teams really going for it. Obviously, both teams booking their ticket to the national championship, but gold on the line. The Gee-Gees looking for their fourth gold medal in 10 years and their third in the last 5.
Yep, 18, 22, and now looking for this one in 23 as Smith puts it up, picked off by Goss. Goss looking for somewhere to play, and she finds Seema Sakarin. I'm thinking that her playing in the midfield is going to be a big help, and here she comes right now, Sakarin trying a long drive. Lacasse across well to gather it.
Bobbled awkwardly on her, but that's what you want to see if you're Sakarin. A little bit of a channel to run into and a good hit there. So that one just not enough power behind it to beat Lacasse.
Drop kick from Lacasse, puts her boot through it up over the halfway line. Bouncing ball headed back by Sophie Miranda. Matsukuo's going to keep going, and she's dragged down. Free kick against Sakaran, who apologizes to her former teammate. Nothing malicious in that one, but it will be a good opportunity to whip it into the box here for the Gee-Gees.
It's a really nice angle here for Nebo Zalmini. Watch out for Cassandra Prevost, who's just outside of your screen, standing just outside the 8-yard line. Or sorry, the 6-yard box rather.
Yeah, Prevost generally then darts back on side or lets the line come back to her as they do have some height out on the pitch due to the Gee-Gees. What can Zlamini dial up? They've also got Matsukubo down the line if they want to use her. Zlamini going for the direct ball though. Here comes Prevost. It's headed away. Loose ball now, swing and a miss. I think it was Kuto who got up to get her head on that one. A dangerous free kick in though, however, by Zlamini. Back for Devlin.
Excellent delivery from Zalmini. It almost fell perfectly for Flo Laroche, who was right place, right time, and then didn't connect. She had a gaping goal staring down.
Fenton, that one was not kept in by Sutcliffe. Time winding down in this opening half, probably about 5 minutes if we factor in the stoppages. Buiti trying to create some space off the throw-in. Zlamini all the way across as well. Prevost. So Prevost was actually credited with an assist on the Zlamini goal because it was indirect and she laid it off to her. So she will get her name on the score sheet. Brzezowski. Ooh, loses out to Fenton. Fenton moving forward. Can they find Strickler? They might be able to. Madsen Strickler off the goal post and out. Swing and a miss by Furlan. Still danger. Banking it back. Lily Goss putting it back in. Cleared away by Smith. Loose ball now for Kuto. Sakarin can't make the half turn. Banking it back for Kendra Kuto. Kuto around Zlamini, and then it's a loose touch that's away by Brzezowski. Strickler was right in there. It was off the post and out. Queens nearly with a response. Matsukubo wants on the far side, but it's grabbed by Claire Sun. Nahin. Strickler being marked by Furlan. Great tackle by Rosie Cote. Cote moving forward. No real options for her, so she may as well stay on it. Now looks down the line. There's no one running as the Gee-Gees right now are just looking maybe to see themselves into the half.
Good push here from the Gaels, and that's what Maddie Strickler can do. She ran right down the heart of the Gee-Gees defense where some space has opened up in different parts of the season. It was an excellent burst of speed from the Gaels' leading goal scorer, and that time just unlucky. She beat Lacasse but couldn't beat the post.
Sakarin riding the challenge of Brzezowski, getting it to Goss. Picked off. Devlin saw that one all the way. Read it like a book. It was telegraphed a bit by Goss, I think, And it's all the way back for Tynan. Whoop, look out, this one coming right this way off the foot of Tynan. And it's going to be Gee-Gees throw-in. Flo Laroche looking to take this throw-in as Devlin elects to stay home, and this one's going to be another Flo Laroche throw. 2 added minutes about to be signaled by our 4th official, which I think is the correct decision, as a couple times the ball did go missing. That was pretty much the only delay, and Strickler's on it now. Can she get around Buiti? No, she can't. Buiti separates her from the ball. Knocked forward. And Fenton's only been on the pitch for about 15 minutes, but I think she's really made an effect. She created that turnover that led to the Strickler chance. We'll see if Dave McDowell goes back to his starting 11 or if he decides to keep Strickler and Fenton out there. Laroche, is she caught in possession? No, she gets away really well and gets to Buiti. Back for Laroche. Laroche for Prevost. Sun's right there off of Prevost. One-on-one for Cassandra Prevost. Great stop by Tynan. And cleared away by Asaf. Frantic action here to close off the first half. Zlamini still on it. Looking forward for Matsukubo. It's going to bounce back for Kote. Point blank stop from Kirsten Tynan.
Both goalies have had one-on-one opportunities against 2 of the most dangerous players in this division. Strickler hits the post and a big save there from Tynan, but that all started by Flo Laroche. Great strength play over here, and then a beautiful little ball that was able to slip in Cassandra Prevost.
Prevost one-on-one, you usually see her finish those off, but it's a good save by maybe the top goalkeeper in the conference. Fenton looking through for Nahin, and the ball and the run were not on the same angle. Lacasse drop kicks it forward. That one taken well by Sakran. Great tackle by Nahin. Again, still no real offsides to be had, and fouls really at a premium as it's been a clean game here at Matt Anthony Field. Prevost trying to run it down. Some indecision by Sun. Sutcliffe gets body position, but no, Prevost still on it. Cassandra Prevost left-footed across, headed by Kuto, and then all the way out by Miranda. That one behind Fenton. Devlin up. Laroche. Buiti back for Laroche. Good turn from Flo Laroche. Moving forward now. Tried the ball across, picked away by Asaf. Buiti. Referee takes a look at her watch, but they're going to let him play here. Brzezowski out wide for Kote. One last cross perhaps. Oh, and I don't know about that. As she calls it exactly on 47 minutes. In any case, 1-0 the score for the University of Ottawa. And Eva Buiti indirect free kick past Kirsten Tynan the difference after the first 45. We'll be back in about 15 minutes time on OUA TV and CBC Sports YouTube.
Welcome to the inaugural and the first of many diversity in sports conference. Congratulations to everybody for making this all become a reality.
I would highly recommend that people within the sport landscape in Canada definitely come out to this conference next year. There's so much good information that can be absorbed from here, and I think we can all be part of the change within Canada if we all actively engage in conversations like this.
Coming to the Diversity in Sports Conference was one of the best experiences I ever had after coming to Canada. The people I was able to meet, the people I was able to network with, the friends I made, and the learnings I gained were tremendous.
Sign up right now. Follow them on whatever social media platform they are. Email the OUA, contact them, contact whoever you need to contact, find out when they're getting ticket sales again, and get here. This is a must-do every single year. Everyone needs to be here. We need to pack this place and get at it again in 2024.
We don't have to work alone. We can do this together, and it shows by the numbers that are here that we want to improve and we want to make a better future for all Canadians. Doesn't matter where they're from, but that's the goal that we have. So thank you so much for coming to the inaugural conference, and dare I say, see you next year.
1, 2, 3.
Diversity in sports! This is what girls do. 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 This is what girls do.
Where exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated, Ontario University Athletics.
Welcome to the inaugural and the first of many diversity in sports conference. Congratulations to everybody for making this all become a reality.
I would highly recommend that people within the sport landscape in Canada definitely come out to this conference next year. There's so much good information that can be absorbed from here, and I think we can all be part of the change within Canada if we all actively engage in conversations like this.
Coming to the Diversity in Sports Conference was one of the best experiences I ever had after coming to Canada. The people I was able to meet, the people I was able to network with, the friends I made, and the learnings I gained were tremendous.
Sign up right now. Follow them on whatever social media platform they are. email the OUA, contact them, contact whoever you need to contact, find out when they're getting ticket sales again, and get here. This is a must-do every single year. Everyone needs to be here. We need to pack this place and get at it again in 2024.
We don't have to work alone. We can do this together, and it shows by the numbers that are here that we want to improve and we want to make a better future for all Canadians. Doesn't matter where they're from, but that's the goal that we have. So thank you so much for coming to the inaugural conference, and dare I say, see you next year.
1, 2, 3.
Diversity in sports. This is what girls do. 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 This is what girls do.
Where exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated. Ontario University Athletics.
Welcome to the inaugural and the first of many diversity in sports conference. Congratulations to everybody for making this all become a reality.
I would highly recommend that people within the sport landscape in Canada definitely come out to this conference next year. There's so much good information that can be absorbed from here, and I think we can all be part of the change within Canada if we all actively engage in conversations like this.
Coming to the Diversity in Sports Conference was one of the best experiences I ever had after coming to Canada. The people I was able to meet, the people I was able to network with, the friends I made, and the learnings I gained were tremendous.
Sign up right now. Follow them on whatever social media platform they are. Email the OUA, contact them, contact whoever you need to contact, find out when they're getting ticket sales again, and get here. This is a must-do every single year. Everyone needs to be here. We need to pack this place and get at it again in 2024.
We don't have to work alone. We can do this together. And it shows by the numbers that are here that we want to improve and we want to make a better future for all Canadians. Doesn't matter where they're from, but that's the goal that we have. So thank you so much for coming to the inaugural conference, and dare I say, see you next year.
This is what girls do. 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 This is what girls do.
Where exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated, Ontario University Athletics.
Welcome to the inaugural and the first of many diversity in sports conference. Congratulations to everybody for making this all become a reality.
I would highly recommend that people within the sport
Back at Matt Anthony Field, a 1-0 score between the Gee-Gees and the Queens Gaels. And a big change right now, Declan, for Queens. We see their lineup a bit shifted. Claire Sons moved into the midfield. And it looks like Alicia Sutcliffe is now playing at the back with Medina Asaf. So a couple of changes for Queens as they look to pull themselves back into this one. Remember, the lone goal was scored by that player right there, Nebo Zlamini, off an indirect free kick. Cassandra Prevost getting an assist. Here comes Alana Oriente running down the side, trying to cross in. Prevost, great save by Tynan, and cleared away by Miranda. Still trouble there. Zlamini puts it up and over, and what a start to the half that would have been.
What an introduction to the game for Devin Eisen, who's played every minute of the playoffs. I think tough for her not to start in this one. She comes out on the right-hand side for the Gaels, and immediately she's beaten by Oriente, who generates that opportunity.
So we look at how they set up here. So Sutcliffe moves into center back, and it's Eisen who takes her spot to allow Sun to move higher up the pitch. Strickler's back on the bench. Sakarin's back up for that center forward, and then Claire Sun steps into the midfield. So not having Sun at the back to watch Prevost, I think that could be a really big change here for the Gaels.
She was so competent, and the Gee-Gees have changed their goalie, as we now see. Cassidy Joslin into the net. She started the game in 2021 against the Gaels right here. That one a 2-0 loss for the University of Ottawa.
Yeah, so they split the goalkeeping time 50-50 here, do the Gee-Gees. That's Fenton, who really made a difference when coming on with about 15 minutes to go in that first half. So really the only change for Queens at the half is Strickler off and Eisen on. But then, of course, they shift a bunch of players around and kind of change it all up. And here comes Prevost, already getting onto the ball a bit more with Sun further up the field. Looking for Matsukubo. It's backwards from Miranda. Tynan's all the way over to get it. And she'll have a bit of time to set things up here.
With Sun into the midfield now, it'll be a bigger job for Kuto, who we saw get back and bite in against against Cassandra Prevost.
Smith heads this one backwards, and Ferlin helps it along. Ottawa in their white uniforms, moving from left to right on your screen. Queens in red with blue shorts. Sun running onto the ball against Cote. Low cross, out of play. Also, we're seeing a similar situation to what we saw against McMaster, in which Devlin and Cote switch sides for the Gee-Gees. So Rosalie Cote remains on the far side, now at left back, and Devlin right in front of us still, now at right back.
And the only changes the Gee-Gees have made, Gervais and Oriente, as we've said, back into this game, and Cassidy Joslin in net. So it looks like we've squared away all that's happened at halftime.
Yeah, so it's essentially back to the starting 11 for Ottawa, with the exception of the goalkeeper. Kuto opens up. All the way back for Asaf. Eisen. Forward for Sun. Off the ball here, 5 versus 5. Sun tries to track down Brzezowski. And it's going to be Ottawa ball. A capacity crowd at Matt Anthony Field for this one, Declan, and the fans really making their voices heard. Queens have traveled well, and it's packed stands to our right for the Gee-Gees, and it's spilling over into the end zones as well, off to our left. And the Gee-Gees men's basketball team was briefly in the end zone off to our right, but it looks like they've since been displaced, but they are here somewhere. They opened their season with a win against Guelph last night. Turning on the ball, good tackle from Devlin all the way to Oriente. Through the middle for the goal scorers, Lamini. 50-50, won by Oriente. Can Oriente get into her running? Stepping inside, past Kuto. Oriente opening up. Alana Oriente right on goal and right to Tynan.
Excellent run there from Oriente. She's such a tricky player, as we've mentioned. She beats Eisen, and then Kuto just seems all confused, goes down when she probably could have stayed up and bullied Oriente off the ball. It's an opportunity that could have been prevented from the Gaels.
Looking forward for Sacker, and it's a bit long, and it goes to Cassidy Joslin. Gee-Gees looking for their 11th conference title. They've already got the record. This would just extend it a bit, as that one's turned over to Nahin. Nahin running at the defense, trying to get onto her right foot, poking it back for Goss. One more, Claire Sun. Sun back for Goss. They're being forced backwards, though Gervais tries to get in for the challenge. Nahin again. Nahin skipping past Maya Smith. Back inside Nahin. It's a great block by Brzezowski. Nice close control. It's going to be a corner kick for Queens.
Their first one of the afternoon. We've talked about how good the Gee-Gees are attacking corners. They're very good defending corners. This is a big test for the Gaels. Watch out for Kuto.
Asaf standing right in front of Cassidy Jocelyn. Remember, the Gee-Gees conceded off a set piece against McMaster. This is the first corner of the game for Queens, I believe. Goss putting into the sun, flying up as Prevost to head it away. Fenton, great control, but she couldn't get it past Cote. Matsukubo may be loose if they can get it up the pitch. Eisen had to be sure of herself getting it to Oriente, who heads it right back where it came from. Here comes Matsukubo. Almost in. Eisen did just enough to force her into the corner. Matsukubo again, right around Eisen. Into the box, Jenna Matsukubo. Trying her luck. Stopped by Tynan, and in!
Took the Gee-Gees all of 5 minutes to extend their lead. Matsukubo, an absolute handful. Down on the far side, she, with a burst of speed, gets past Eisen not once but twice. And that one, Tynan didn't get all of it. She was able to deflect it, but only as far as the corner. Eisen, one of the only players, Matsukubo, one of the only players to score against the Gee-Gees for the Gaels, has now scored for the one of the only players to score for the Gaels against the Gee-Gees, now scores for the Gee-Gees against the Gaels.
It's her first career goal against her former team, and it comes at a very important time, doubling the lead. Eisen had no chance to keep up with her.
Gee-Gees goal scored by number 2, Jenna Matsukubo.
And now it's open season here for Ottawa, as you get the sense Queens are going to have a hard time getting back into this one. You never know, though, as Nahin's running down Devlin. No chance there. Devlin all the way back to Jocelyn. A rare mistake from Devlin as it's out of play. Launched in, looking for Sakharin. Maya Smith wins the ball, and it's cleared away by Matsukubo. Prevost creating the turnover. Miranda spinning around Matsukubo. Out of play. It's going to be Gaels' ball. So the national championships get going in Kingston on Thursday, all 8 teams involved. So both these teams will be playing a quarterfinal on Thursday. Oriente right through the back from Eisen. Clear foul that time. So the Gaels gambled by having Sun move into the midfield, which seems like the logical choice, but by doing that you remove Sutcliffe or Miranda from their fullback positions, and then that just allowed Matsukubo to get loose, and there was no one keeping up with her, as it was a great individual effort to double the lead.
We talked about how important the flanks would be here, and they've been vital for both of the goals. Matsukubo, with a fantastic burst of speed, is able to extend the lead, and the Gee-Gees' first goal comes off of a chance on the outside as well. So these half spaces, very, very important, as both coaches have a lot of work to do, especially if you're McDowell, to get back into this one. The Gee-Gees don't give up goals. They don't give up goals at home. And it'll be a big task for the Gaels if they hope to lift the trophy later on today.
Here comes Oriente flying forward around Eisen once more. Going to try to chip Tynan, but she was ready for it. It wasn't going on goal anyways, and Tynan handles it. So you saw that Strickler got the last 10 minutes of the first half, and she obviously didn't start the second half, and you wondered if maybe they were saving her for the last 15, maybe 10 minutes of the second half. But if it's a 2-goal margin, I don't know if they risk it, factoring in they already know they're going to the national championships, and they have a big home game coming up on Thursday. Forward for Zlamini. Gervais in a great position through the middle, and then it's taken away by Asaf. Gervais was galloping up there and had a step on Goss. And that's Gervais on the ball, just kind of a kick at it that time, and it goes to Kendra Kuto. Cleared forward by Furlan. No one home for the Gee-Gees, so it's taken down by Eisen. Kuto across for Sutcliffe, with Prevost chasing her down to get it to Goss. Asaf. Launching it forward, taken down by Nahin. Nahin trying to kick and run, not going to work on Devlin, who had it played really, really well. Miranda, good tackle by Zlamini, out wide for Oriente now. Oriente around Eisen, she just can't keep up right now. Devin Eisen, and a foul by Asaf. It's going to be a free kick. Devin Eisen's looked like a fish out of water. She's done nothing right.
That's the third time that she's bit on a 50-50 and come up short. Especially with the pace the Gee-Gees have out on the wing. It's been an impossible situation to put Devin Eisen into, but she has not been great so far. For a player who's been so fantastic for stretches of Queens this season, she was in and out of the lineup last year, comes in, has played, as I mentioned, every minute of playoff action so far, but a difficult situation to put her into, and she hasn't coped well.
Devlin looking long. Prevost could be on it. Just a hair out of reach, and Tynan gets it.
Needed a Robin Van Persie effort from the 2010 World Cup.
Smith misses that one on Sakharin, and she's going to move it up here for Fenton. Fenton shoved off the ball by Cote, and cleanly so. Claire Sun barges in. Cote keeps the hands up. They go down. The official thought about blowing it down, but Sakharin has it. Out wide for Fenton. Trying to queue up into the box here are the Gales. It's a heavy touch from Fenton, however, and out for a goal kick. Jocelyn indicating that she may want to go long with this one, or she was waving up the Gee-Gees wingers, and now they do put it short for Maya Smith. Smith bouncing ball up the field. Sutcliffe first to it, and it's out of play. So Jocelyn went the distance for the Gee-Gees in the regular season game between these two teams, keeping a clean sheet in that 0-0 decision. And they'll need her to be very solid back there for the duration of this one. 33 minutes left on the clock, and the Gee-Gees will gain yards methodically here.
And Graham, you think about how different that game, this game could have been if that chance earlier on in the dying embers of the first half was just an inch to the right and had gone in. Gales are still in this one in that case.
Yeah, definitely so. Oh, Matsukubo was almost turning through there, but Sutcliffe got the foot to it. Serving it up now over the head of Sutcliffe, and it's going to roll to Tynan. Tynan punts it forward. Brzezowski settles under it, gets it with the foot. Kuto sliding in there, and they keep the ball to the Gales. Eisen picked off by Zlamini, but it's going to roll right through to Tynan.
It's been all Gee-Gees so far through the first 15 minutes here. They've been very effective in their press, especially in the half spaces. And as the Gales look to push forward, the Gee-Gees have had more space to run, as we see here.
And no one really home up top, so Asaf puts her foot through it. Devlin rises well. Sun has the ball, pulling it back. Great bit of skill. And she was hacked away from behind, so it will be a foul against Brzezowski. Sun looking to play quickly, and the referee making her slow down and set it up. By the way, we got clarification on any suspension. So if any player gets into yellow card trouble, a third yellow card, you have to sit a game. It doesn't matter for the national championship. All the yellows get wiped. But if someone was to take a red card in this game, the suspension would carry into the national championship. That a one-game suspension, and then anything supplemental if it's something egregious. That one headed by Miranda as it was a hot shot from Kuto. Matsukubo. Smith playing it up, and Gervais was looking to lay it off to Matsukubo, but it's going to be Gale's ball. And Smith clatters into Sakharin that time, but it is indeed Gee-Gee's ball.
Gales are up, warming up. We'll see if we see a change from Queens in the next little bit. Something needs to change quickly. As we've mentioned, the Gee-Gees don't give up very many goals. 4 goals this season, none of which came at home.
They do have Naya Slusarenko, an Ottawa product, on their bench. We'll see if she's introduced at some point here. And the ball appears to be lost once again, but now they do get it to Adrian Devlin. Flicked on by Zlamini. Prevost puts it down Route 1. Here comes Oriente. She's going to get on the ball. Alana Oriente in one-on-one. Good save by Tynan, and great rebound control as well, poking it out. And it's going to be a corner kick.
A chance.
Don't know who lost track of Oriente there.
A chance out of nothing for the University of Ottawa. Oriente just with a huge burst. Cassandra Prevost As we're just seeing here, what a ball. She just turns around and sprays. The Gaels have pushed all the way forward, and no one could handle with the pace of Oriente.
Yeah, she was just wide in there. Miscommunication between the two defenders, and Prevost just put up the pitch, and Oriente was on her horse, but it's another corner kick for Ottawa. Zlamini to deliver. Matsukubo's going to run over to show short. Only one player over defending. They could work the short routine if they want. Nahin's not giving enough space here, so they're going to make sure that she steps back. It's a 2v1 there in the corner. They may try to give it short, and that's what they do. Matsukubo to Zlamini. Cross being served in, looking for Prevost. It's over her head, falls to Ferland, right back in there. Prevost swings and misses. Gervais kicks it, and it's a great, no, it's in!
Tynan has not been herself today, out of position, and she's still down. We hope she's okay, but the Gee-Gees extend their lead 3-0. Sandra Prevost with a swing and a miss, and then just a small little dribbler from Gervais. That one, the Gee-Gees 3-0.
Far from a clean hit from Gervais, and it was just enough as Tynan directed it onto the post and then in. Tynan now being inspected by the head referee. She looks okay to continue, but it's 3-0 here, and Ottawa's running away with it. Not fully cleared away. It was really good work from Gabrielle Ferland to get on the ball and put it back into the box, I thought. And the Gee-Gees have come out flying. Loose touch from Eisen. She wins it back, however. Fenton turning forward. Fenton holding off Cote. Looking through. Gervais gets on it. Nahin. Overlap being made by Sun. Nahin takes it herself. Nahin still on it. Left-footed drive. Great save from Cassidy Jocelyn.
Down quickly is Jocelyn. An attentive save, and if you feel something good's going to happen for the Gaels, it's going to come through the rookie sensation for the Gaels and Nahin. And
turned over. Here comes Sakran. Sakran shoots. Oh, what a hit that is, and it's 3-1.
What a goal. They'll grab the ball quickly. The Gaels with a burst of light, and that one couldn't have been placed better.
No chance for Jocelyn. It was a misplaced pass from Smith, turned over by Nahin, and Sakran made no mistake. You wonder if that may change the plan for Dave McDowell and the Gaels if they think about getting Strickler back on. It's a great time to score, and I think Matson Strickler might be getting back into the game in short order here. The Gee-Gees will kick off, but Strickler's getting ready to come back in. So just when you thought it was over, the Gaels have a response, and here comes Oriente. Slipping it through for Prevost. It's picked off by Asaf. So the Gaels wasted no time clawing back into it, but it's still a mountain to climb against this Gee-Gees team.
Scored by number 18,
Headed forward by Smith out of play.
Scored in the 67th minute of play.
And here comes Strickler.
With that most recent goal, Graham, from the Gaels, it makes you appreciate Gervais' goal even more. It keeps the lead now at a two-goal decision. Eisen, who had a really rough outing, is off the pitch for the Gaels.
Lost it all of not even 20 minutes, Devin Eisen, and she's back out. So it looks like they're going back to pretty much the way it was before. So, you know, maybe a tactical miscue from Dave McDowell as Claire Sun drops back into the defense. Sutcliffe back at right back to deal with Oriente. Strickler's at center forward. Sakran's back into the midfield. Asaf taken off the ball by Zlamini. Grappling there. Foul against Asaf.
Gee-Gees have an opportunity to play quickly, but Smith will calm things down. The crowd is still into this one on both sides.
And there was a card given there to Asaf, as the official just writing in her notebook right now. So it's appropriate that we mentioned it just before. Yellow cards don't matter come the national championship, but if Asaf was to pick up another yellow and then subsequently a red, she would be out of that quarterfinal game.
Queen's goal scored by number 8, Seema Sakran. Goal scored in the
Served up by Smith. Oriente takes it down really well. Great tackle put in by Sutcliffe. That's what she provides it right back. Gervais up high on Goss. Strickler just wants it a bit more, and she's able to poke it back for Sakharin. Oh, but then it's turned over to Oriente. Oriente trying to take them all on, and then wisely gives it back to Rosie Cote. Flicked on by Zlamini. Bouncing ball. Or Matsukubo took a strong hit from Sun and Miranda. Did get a shot off, but Tynan saves it. Tynan sky high. Smith and Strickler go at it. Smith gets the better of it that time. Smith still tracking it down against Goss as they battle for it. Now Goss takes a hit in the face. Player it on, say the official. Nahin moving forward. Great tackle by Devlin. It's out. So Goss was grappling with Smith, and then she got caught right in the nose, and she's down right in front of us here. Claire Sun over to check on her. The official was playing on because the Gaels were on the counter and elected not to stop play for the injury, and Goss is back up after being checked on by Sun, and the Gaels have the ball in the Gee-Gees half. Goss right back on it. Poked away by Gervais, who has that crucial insurance marker right now. Glavis. Ooh, that's not going to do it. Picked up by Oriente. Oriente, here comes Jenna Matsukubo. She's going to run it, Claire Sun. Matsukubo cutting it across. Back outside now, Jenna Matsukubo. Briefly tripped up, she goes down. Penalty. It is certainly a penalty. She was clipped up from behind, and the Gee-Gees have a chance to make it 4.
Claire Sun got put in a washer cycle inside and out, twisted all around. And Jenna Matsukubo with the pace, the speed. The legs are clipped. I didn't quite catch which of the Gaels did it. It was just the slightest bit of contact, but with Jenna Matsukubo, it's always going to be one way. And we see Nebo Dalmini scored a penalty in the gold medal game against York. She has a chance to replicate that.
Looking for her second of the game. As the official just making sure everything's up to her standards here. The officiating's been good today. They assigned the good referees for this crucial game in Ottawa, and Nebo Zlamini looking to make it 4. Right into the roof of the goal, no doubt about it, and it's 4 for Ottawa.
You could feel the frustration there from Zalmini. Ref took a little bit of time with that one. Looked over, and as she struck it, she couldn't have struck it more pure. Right down the middle. Impossible for Tynan to save that one. She gets the right way, but too much power on that, and Zalmini gets her second goal of the game.
And the Gaels restart play, so 2 for Zlamini, 1 for Gervais, and then 1 right off the hop for Matsukubo. So Matsukubo draws the penalty, and she's got a goal herself. She's really made her former team play. Gee-Gees looking for more, picked off by Asaf. Gervais up for Prevost. For Matsukubo again, stepping around Nihin, but then it's a heavy touch.
You know, we talk about the penalty, but it all, as you mentioned, comes from the great play of Jenna Matsukubo, loose on the wing. Some quick control inside and out. She's another year of eligibility with this program. You just think of the things that they could do. The Gee-Gees have a lot of players who can come back and make an impact, ranked #1 in the country, and there's not much that's going to change next year, you imagine.
Ooh, Prevost tried to pull the trigger, hauled down from behind by Couto. Yeah, the Gee-Gees are aiming. I think they can return almost anyone. It's Seniors Day. They honored Cassandra Prevost, Flo Laroche, and Adrian Devlin, and Prevost's most likely going to return. So, yes, they're losing a yellow card there to Couto. So they're most likely going to lose Devlin and then Laroche, but everyone else should be returning. So they could be just as good again next year.
So many on a brace. You think about if she's going to strike this one, you remember some of the heroics she had in her first and second season. She scored a very similar goal from a free kick not too much further out.
30 yards out here for Zlamini, and perhaps her last action of the game. We'll see if she serves it up or she tries for goal. She's going to play it short. Not quite sure what the idea was there, as Sun was on top of it right away. Cote putting it right back in. Not a bad ball. Oriente could get onto this one. Up high off of Sutcliffe. No hands, however. And Sutcliffe puts it up for Gervais. Gervais serving it in. Shoving the back. Actually, Prevost was offside, as signaled by our near side official. And it looks like it's going to be Buiti on and Nebo Zlamini, who got 2 today, coming off.
After a little bit of a rocky start from Zlamini, she has a real bounce back in the latter half of the first half, and then in the second half she's been everywhere, dynamic in getting the Gee-Gees from point A to point B, and she leaves. You imagine we won't see her with only 20 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Buiti, who had a very good first half, comes on. But Zlamini, always influential for set pieces, and she scores 2 of them.
This one launched long. Maya Smith rises to it. And Gervais falls awkwardly, wanted a foul, and she gets it. We'll see how much longer Steve Johnson leaves Matsukubo and Oriente there, as that pass is picked off by Nahin. Nahin moving forward. Out wide, Sakran. And Cote with a good challenge. Launching it in here. Brzezowski with good body position on Glavis. Brzezowski going to let it roll all the way out. Oh, Glavis kept it in for Strickler. Great block by Maya Smith. And now Glavis is down off the field of play, just to the side of Jocelyn's goal. The official checking on her, and it looks like she's going to be okay to get back up. Good work, though, by the Queens number 16. Cote looking for someone on this throw-in as the Gaels try to hem the Gee-Gees in. Sutcliffe. So really, it was just a rough 20 minutes for the Gaels where they gave up those 2 goals. I mean, apart from that, it would have been a very close game, but a rough first 20 minutes in this second half, and it's an emphatic scoreline for the Gaels, or for the Gee-Gees, rather.
It's just pace and tricky play on the outside that caused all the issues. And as we were talking about, a little bit of a strange tactical decision to move Sun into the midfield, take away the rock on defense.
Well, I wouldn't say, so the goal was to get Sun into the midfield, no doubt about it. Sakran, the goal scorer for Queens, moves forward. Could she get her second here on her left foot? She's going to try it. It's blocked by Buiti. Headed forward by Glavis. Sakran. Seema Sakran. Goss trying to flick it off. Dealt with by Devlin. Miranda. She'll try a long drive. No problem for Jocelyn. So, I mean, the logic was to get Sun further up the pitch, but they kind of sacrificed their anchor back there, I think, and it ended up costing them to the tune of 2 goals. Smith moves it up. Sun and Miranda over to try to deal with it. Prevost gets the foot in, and Matsukubo's back on it. Oriente forced back by Sutcliffe. Great defending by the right back. She's still going to go, but Oriente turns her. And then Nahin's all the way back to defend. Goss for Nahin. Nahin can move forward. Buiti in pursuit. Nahin's going to try to run away from her, however. Nahin shooting one well wide of the goal.
Good curler from the Gaels rookie. She had a burst of speed, a couple options ahead of her, but elected to cut in with a nice little step over, and that one not enough bend for a shot and too much bend for the cross.
You know, the Nahin twins, Letta and Vita, are going to serve the Gaels really, really well. Pushing the back from Sutcliffe. Saw that one from up here. Are going to serve the Gaels really, really well over the next couple of years as This Gaels team seemingly never lets up. As we said, not a single Gaels player coming into this game had scored against the University of Ottawa. But they're always in and around the national championships, always in and around the top of the OUA East. Ooh, Goss takes a seat after Smith exploded around her. Devlin crossing it in out of play. Good defending from Miranda.
Looks like we're going to see the introduction of, I believe, Dussault relatively soon.
Maya Dussault getting the sub card in. Looks like they won't get it in this time as Tynan serves it up. Flicked on by Glavis. Showing no ill effects after taking a hard fall behind Jocelyn's goal a few moments ago. Here comes Saccharin, who's in full flight. Stepping inside of Cote. Seema Saccharin on her left foot. Nahin could get on it. She'll keep it in. Nahin back across. Goss! Good block by Furland. And then, whoa, Oriente puts that one nearly on the roof here at the Minto Sports Complex. And it looks like Dussault will be coming on for Cote.
We've seen these two trade places all season as Dussault and Cote do such an excellent job down on the far side of the pitch. We'll see how she can deal with the effects of Saccharin, who's been very good, just that opportunity.
Actually, as they do that, they switch Saccharin over onto this near side, and Nahin goes onto the far side to face off with Dussault. So Nahin's now more of a right winger, and Saccharin's on the near side. Sutcliffe headed forward by Buiti. Sutcliffe nods it on, and no one really able to stake their claim to it. Oriente brings it down and flicks it promptly right back up where Sutcliffe wins it. Goss. And now Gervais, the calming influence, settles it down. Has to go in for a challenge here, though, on Saccharin. Got stuck into her. And play right on, says the official. Sun with a good header. Time ticking down here for the Gee-Gees as they approach their 11th conference title, but it's turned over here to Glavis. Strickler a bit delayed in making her run. She seemed to not be sure if she wanted to run kind of direct or try to go around, and Glavis with uncaught possession. Kuto. Sun. Nope, not going to do it that time as it's picked off by Devlin. Devlin looking to get into the attack, but Oriente's going to run herself against Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe doing a nice job of keeping her to the outside. Cross. Oh, flying in is Matsukubo just in front of Tynan. Loose ball. Here comes Gervais. Touch. Can she finish? Blocked away. Sophie Miranda on it that time.
Another good dart there from Jenna Matsukubo, who's been all over the place today.
Yeah, where'd she come from? Just flew in front of Tynan. And Devlin loses the ball, and Sutcliffe clears her lines. Devlin down the line, Sutcliffe right all the way.
Sutcliffe has been very good down on the flank today, and you felt her absence when she was moved into the middle of the park. She's kept Oriente and Matsukubo relatively in check, despite the valiant efforts that those two have done today, including a goal and an assist for Matsukubo.
Matsukubo also drew the penalty, so she's excuse me, she's been the best offensive player, you'd have to say, for Ottawa. Probably the best player on the pitch in the entire game, and Sutcliffe plays it out. Buiti. Goss got the ball. Buiti's back up, though. And Sutcliffe goes in with the tackle.
Looks like we're moments away from seeing the introduction of Mangiaracina into this one, and two substitutions coming up for the Gaels as well.
Devlin putting it across, headed up. Prevost taking it down, poking it back for Brzezowski. And now Dussault puts it out of play. So here come the Queen's subs. On comes Sophia Nofal, taking off Lily Goss. And Naya Slusarenko, who we mentioned briefly, is coming on for...
I believe it was Vita Nahin who had come off.
Nahin, and then Strickler's walking over to the bench, having a word. So they're going to leave Strickler out there. So dealing with an injury. They are going to give her a good 25 minutes in this half, so she'll play about half the game considering the time she also put in the first half. But obviously the Gaels have their sights set on Thursday when they'll be in a hometown quarterfinal for the U Sports National Championship. Moved forward. Can Slusarenko get onto it? Not quite. Smith clears it away from her former Ottawa South United teammate. And here comes Mangiaricina now. She'll be taking off Oriente. Oriente going off on the near side, so Mangiaricina will come on.
Ottawa substitution, number 10, Sabrina Mangiaricina, coming in for number 9, Elena Oriente.
So Oriente gets a nice ovation as she leaves the pitch. Slusarenko, ooh, up high on Smith, no hand though. That one was a bit close, a good run from Slusarenko. Loose ball through the middle, picked up by Gervais. Behind Prévost. So it's remarkable, the Gee-Gees have 4 goals. Prévost only has an assist in the game. Wonder if you said the Gee-Gees were going to score 4 goals in a game, you think Prévost would be involved more than just 1 assist. No fall, clears it up. Slusarenko turns Smith, but can't get through Furland, who moves it up, and it's I suppose that can be a save credited to Tynan. This one's sky high in the air and headed by Buiti. Oh, it's a loose touch from Buiti, however, who then tries to drag back Sakran. Slusarenko. Asaf. Looking over, no one home for the Gaels, and it's going to roll out. The countdown's on now at Matt Anthony Field, under 10 to go, plus any stoppages. And it looks like Olivia Chavanos is getting ready to enter the game for the Gee-Gees. They'll take the goal kick, however, for Gabrielle Furland. And a rare mistake by Matsukubo, it's out. And they'll play on, will the Gaels. Well, we'll take an opportunity here as the ball's served up. It's over Smith and cleared away by Devlin. To thank our crew for this season, Nico Macias has been the director for most of the year, as well as for Hamza Ali, who joined us on a couple of broadcasts. Thank you for everyone who's tuned in. And here comes Jenna Matsukubo, looking to turn around Miranda, who's doing a nice job sticking to her former teammate. And then it's going to be Ottawa ball. Now the sub will come up for the Gee-Gees. Gabrielle Furland will come off. And it's Olivia Chavanos, who's in her 3rd year out of Valley, Nova Scotia, who comes in. So a like-for-like change there at center back.
It was a dependable performance as always from Furland. She made a number of very important tackles throughout the proceedings. Was always there to read the ball, and she's done a fantastic job this season. She stepped into a much bigger role.
Prévost. Ooh. That one had a vapor trail behind it, but it was wide. Tynan had her angles played very well.
Didn't miss by very much. It just hit the side netting on the corner. That one, Cassandra Prévost classic, one she absolutely got all of.
Chavanos actually started the season opener for Ottawa. Did start 5 games this year. Oof, and Smith was trying to call off Gervais there, but they clatter into one another, and Miranda's going to get on the ball. Trying to step through Matsukubo. Brzezowski in there with the challenge. Katie Brzezowski's on course to play the full 90, which she hasn't in the last little bit. She's usually been subbed off at some point, but it looks like she'll get the full 90 today, unless Steve Johnson looks to get some reserves on late. Smith steps into it. Strickler, haven't said her name a whole lot in this second half at all. Sakran, good tackle by Devlin. Kuto. Wide for Glavis. They're queuing up. Sakran's in a great position in the box if they can get it to her. Zusso takes the sting out of the cross, and it's further cleared away by Eva Buiti.
Smart play there from Dussault, who got her angles right and made sure that no power could be gotten on that ball.
Prévost launches it forward, and it'll roll out of play near the Ottawa bench. This one launched in, and Sun clears it up. So we were talking earlier, this really an outlier for an OUA final game. It's very rare that both teams score. In fact, in the past 7 years, it hasn't been that both teams have scored, and the highest scoreline we've seen in any of these OUA finals have been 1-0, or excuse me, 2-0. But now each OUA, each of the last 4 have featured a penalty kick of some description, whether it be a penalty shootout or a converted penalty.
I think both coaches came into this one not wanting to lose, but rather hoping to win this one in the 90 minutes. Steve Johnson and his team came out. They played very aggressive through the first half. It was a very free-flowing affair, and both teams had their opportunities. There were opportunities to get a few more from both sides as well.
No fall, not able to get onto it, and then hoofed up the field. Sun gets that one with her knee, but it's going to be picked up by Eva Buiti. Combining with Eliane Gervais. Good ball out wide. Matsukubo trying to get around Miranda. Here comes Matsukubo again. All too easy for her. Getting it to Sabrina Mangiaricina. And she wasn't able to keep that one in. Maybe a bit heavy for Matsukubo. And it's going to be a goal kick.
A little bit of an awkward angle for Mangiaricina, who's come into this one but hasn't quite seen the ball yet. And that one, a tight angle that she had to change the body on.
Tynan hoofs it forward. Gervais. Looking down the line. Brzezowski's going to chase it, but it's not really going to be a realistic ask to get onto it. Tynan again setting up the goal kick as time ticks down. The result a mere formality right now, save for a frantic Gaels comeback, which they have not really shown many signs of. Maya Smith rises. It's over her head. Sakran keeps it in. Sakran still going. She has the lone Gaels goal and then pokes it out of play. It's been that kind of second half for Queens. The Gee-Gees faithful still in full voice here at Matt Anthony Field, as they're looking to run it back from last season when they won the OUA championship on their home turf. So they had to wait about 4 years between 2018 when they hosted the national championship and last year to get back into nationals and to win the OUA title, but now they won't have to wait too long at all. That one served in just out of play. Good idea from Mangiaricina.
It's a program that's always sniffing in and around, and they came into the playoffs ranked #1 in the country. You imagine they'll go into the national championships also ranked #1 in the country, and it's a strong bid for Steve Johnson and his team, who look for another, not just OUA gold, but a national championship gold.
Two-time national champions are the Gee-Gees, 96 and 18, the latter of which was on their home field. Declan, we were involved in that in some way or another at Gee-Gees Field just behind us. Or, well, not just behind us, over the highway behind us. And that was quite the final game against Trinity Western. Launched forward by Devlin. It's going to roll right to Tynan.
Trinity Western, as you mentioned early on in this one, come into the national championships as the #1 seat from out west, the same as they did in 2018.
Great header by Buiti. She had to be brave that time, as that one was just coming out of orbit from Tynan. Have to get your techniques right there. That one could hurt, and no fall as it roll off her foot. And the chants come up from the Gee-Gees crowd here as time winds down, and the countdown is on. Flicked on by Prevost. Gervais always first to the ball. Gives Matsukubo something to work with here against Miranda. Matsukubo turning around. She'll shoot it. It's partially blocked. Tynan dives to keep it in. And Asaf banks off of Matsukubo, so it's going to be Gaels' ball.
Matsukubo scored a very similar goal early on in this one. It looks like we're going to get 4 minutes of additional time here in the second half. Gee-Gees will have to wait a little bit longer before they can lift the trophy and receive their medals.
Yep, and there's the 4 minutes being confirmed by our fourth official. And we will stay up for the medal presentation. The Gaels receiving their silver medals, the Gee-Gees getting their gold medals, as well as the championship trophy, which will stay in Ottawa. Provo in there on Tynan, and it's cleared away. Mangiaricina takes it down. She's going to skip past Sutcliffe, but no fall. Gets back there. And then Mangiaricina not quite able to keep that one in. Bit of a shove from Slusarenko. Goes clattering into Shavanos. Shavanos following Slusarenko, and so very well positioned to pick off the pass. Matsukubo, drag at the shirt. The official saw it and will signal a foul. And Steve Johnson trying to get Adrian Devlin to move up to try to get into the box. Oh, wait, actually he wants Devlin to hype up the fans, excuse me. Which is what she will do as it's lofted in. Loose ball, Devlin on to head it. Gee-Gees just looking to keep possession here as we're just about halfway through the added time. A well-officiated game, it has to be said, at Matt Anthony Field. Clean game, too. A couple of yellows for Queens, but apart from that, a good display put on by both teams. The Gee-Gees, I think, deserving of winning this one.
They stuck with their game plan. They went out and they played down the flanks very effectively. It's been nice, tight control in the middle of the park as well, and it's been some crucial finishing. The only player that we haven't seen display some finishing as she heads to the corner is Cassandra Provo.
Asaf taking it off of her, and Provo's going to turn into the box. Going to try it, looking for Mangiaricina just over her head. That's Provo, though. She can create chances out of seemingly nothing. Smith. Maya Smith. For Matsukubo. Oh, they're all out of position, and Matsukubo makes it 5.
The icing on the cake for the University of Ottawa. Nice movement, and you can see the Gee-Gees players really getting into it now. They're moments away from tasting gold. Once again, Adrian Devlin, as we mentioned, playing in her last game here with the biggest smile on her face. It's Jenna Matsukubo, the hero today. 2 goals, an assist, and the penalty that was won. Been a good day for the University of Ottawa.
Yep, you can call it the Matsukubo final because of her affiliation to both schools and also how she affected the game. And the countdown is truly on now for the Gee-Gees. Maya Smith gets the assist. Brzezowski goes flying in on Strickler. And there can't be much time now. Out of play near the Gaels bench. Flying forward here are the Gaels for one last attack maybe. Shavanos clears it away. And the OUA is garnet and gray once more. The Gee-Gees win the OUA championship.
The OUA garnet and gray last year. The OUA garnet and gray this year. The question now becomes, what color will the national championships become? And with the performance they put on today, the Gee-Gees have to consider themselves strong favorites. A brace from Zalmini, a brace from Matsukubo, and the Gee-Gees in strong force. This team yet to lose this season. The only team that took points off them were the Gaels. And the Gee-Gees lift the trophy once again.
So there we go. It's an 11th conference title for Ottawa in front of a sold-out crowd at Matt Anthony Field. Great day for soccer in Ottawa, actually. So we didn't mention it during the game, but the OUA Men's Championship will be taking place at Carleton at 3:30. So both the men's and the women's titles being contested in the nation's capital.
A lot of other OUA action and RSEQ action on tonight. The Gee-Gees women's hockey team will be playing as well, but this is the focus. The last national championship berth goes up tonight in London, as we had already mentioned. McMaster and Western facing off to decide who will be the last team to join the teams in Kingston on Thursday.
And the two teams just going through the formalities. As we said, we will stay up for the medal presentations. And we're still with you at Matt Anthony Field, getting set for the medal presentation. As can't see a whole lot on camera, but the Gaels are there alongside the Gee-Gees, and they're going to honor the major award winners first. There's a couple of... Hey, just bump Andrew up a bit. Tell him to speak louder. And the two head coaches meet there, which is good to see. Steve Johnson and Dave McDowell, they've been competing against one another for a number of years.
2023 OUA East Second Team All-Star Defender, Sophie Miranda.
And they're announcing, I believe these are the second team All-Stars, they said, Declan. So Sophie Miranda there with Coach Dave McDowell.
OUA East Second Team All-Star Midfielder, Seema Sakrin.
And Sakrin. Remarkably for the Gaels, Matson Strickler, despite leading the team in goals, was not on either All-Star team, so I suppose they just didn't nominate her. And there's Tynan, the goalkeeper. And Claire Sun, how good was she today, and how good has she been all season for the Gaels?
Real rock at the back was Sun, and you could feel her presence when she was gone.
So Kuto's on the first All-Star team for 2 years running, last season as a center back and this year as a midfielder. And there's Letta Nahin, who's walking out unavailable for selection today.
And very own Ottawa Gee-Gees, 2023 OUA East Second Team All-Star Defender number 14, Adrienne Devlin. 2023 OUA East Second Team All-Star winger number 2, Jenna Matsukubo.
So Matsukubo, the hero of the final, was on the second All-Star team this year.
2023 OUA East First Team All-Star Defender number 12, Maya Smith.
And now it's the first team, Maya Smith deservingly on there.
2023 OUA East First Team All-Star Midfielder number 23, Nebo Dlamini.
And Nebo Dlamini, who scored 2 today, once off a free kick to open the scoring, and then a penalty to really seal it.
2023 East First Team All-Star Striker number 20, Cassandra.
And then, of course, Cassandra Prevost, quiet in the last 2 games by her lofty standards, but a great regular season.
Congratulations to all the All-Stars. Now for 2023 OUA Major Awards.
And now it's the major
We'd like
awards.
to recognize this year's OUA East Rookie of the Year from Queens, Letta Nahin.
So there's Letta Nahin again, the Rookie of the Year. And regrettably not available for the playoffs. Hopefully she can get back in for the national championship. And there's Dave McDowell being presented with the Coach of the Year award. His 9th of all time.
Finally, this year's OUA East Most Valuable Player from Ottawa, number 20, Cassandra Prevost.
And there's Cassandra Prevost getting the MVP award.
And now for our medal ceremony. To present the OUA Women's Soccer silver medals to the Queen's Gaels, please welcome, Mesdames et Messieurs, veuillez maintenant accueillir sur le terrain Queen's Gaels Director of High Performance Sport, Dalton Myers, and the Dean of Telfer School of Management, Stéphane Brutus.
So Stéphane Brutus of the Telfer School of Management and Dalton Myers of Queen's Athletics will be presenting the medals. Alex Noivo, events coordinator, right in the thick of things as usual, boots on the ground. And there's Kirsten Tynan from North Vancouver.
Sophia Naffel.
Sophia Nofal from Ottawa, West Ottawa, or no, excuse me, not a West Ottawa product, but from Ottawa.
Devin Eisen.
Devin Eisen from Toronto.
Naya Slusarenko.
Naya Slusarenko, one of a number of Ottawa South United products on both teams. And here's another one, Claire Sun, and she was so good today.
Dominic Clark.
Dom Clark out of West Ottawa Soccer Club. Sadly not available today, but over there to get her medal.
Kendra Kudo.
Kendra Kuto from Elmer, Ontario. Remarkable, she's only in her second year.
Seema Sakran.
Seema Sakran from Kempville in the Ottawa area.
Marissa Gravel.
Marissa Gravel, another one from Ottawa, sadly not available for selection today. Picked up an injury in that final regular season game against Nipissing.
Sophie Miranda.
Sophie Miranda in her third year, and looking at the Queens roster, there's no players in their fourth year or above. So a team that is just going to grow and become even better as the years goes on. There's Matson Strickler, limited today due to injury. Lily Goss, who I thought was quite good today at moments, Declan.
Yeah, she had a golden opportunity in the first half that just bounced over her head. She was one of a number of players for Queens who performed valiantly today.
Lily Kosh from North Haven, Connecticut.
Medina Asif.
Medina Asaf from Mississauga, Ontario. A good traveling contingent here for Queens to their credit, which is nice to see. And Alicia Sutcliffe, another Mississauga product.
Melina Glavis.
Melina Glavis from Vancouver.
Leda Nahin.
And now here come the twins, Leda Nahin from Markham and Vita Nahin.
Vita Nahin.
And I think the twins actually went up for one another there, as that's Leda now who's going up for Vita. But really it's a team from across the country. And here comes Erin Hedgecock from Ancaster, Ontario. Didn't feature today, but she was dressed.
Tatiana Carews.
Tatiana Carews, who started, and she's another Ottawa product, but then didn't see her much after she was taken off. A couple of maybe 20 minutes in. Morgan Fenton, who featured today from Grimsby, Ontario.
Ashley Strand.
Ashley Strand, the reserve goalkeeper from North Vancouver, British Columbia. And this is a moment for the Gaels they can remember and think back to in a, during the off season and stuff. And, their season's not over, obviously still going to the national championship, but, certainly some motivation losing by a scoreline like that on their rival's pitch.
That's a team that's always involved. We imagine we might be another 12 months away from another final that that looks very similar to this. So there's a lot to build to. There's the indoor season as well. Easy to forget that, but a lot still to play for. A very young team on both sides. I think two teams that will become quite familiar with each other.
Yeah, it almost always seems like they're on a collision course for one another during the season, and this year certainly so. First time they've met in the big final since 2006. Lauren Matthew now from Surrey, BC. Izzy Pineda next from Calgary.
Izzy Pineda. Olivia Haluka. Trinity Chow.
Trinity Chow from Burnaby, BC, is being called there. I don't think she's present. And then they're going to wrap it up with Paige Turner, the third-string goalkeeper from Paris, Ontario.
To present the OUA Women's Soccer's gold medal to the U Ottawa Gee-Gees, please welcome, Mesdames et Messieurs, veuillez maintenant accueillir sur le terrain, Queen's Gaels Director of High Performance Sport, Dalton Mayers, the Dean of Telford School of Management, Stéphane Brutus, and the Director of Recruitment and Admissions and member of the 1996 National Champions, Michel Beauchamp.
And Michel Beauchamp, who is a national champion, will be assisting with presenting the medals for the University of Ottawa. Second year in a row they've done this, so the players have been through it before. They start off with Cassidy Jocelyn from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Jenna Matsukubo, the hero from Ottawa, out of West Ottawa Soccer Club. Janaea Mallet from Brampton, Ontario. Yulan Farias from Windsor, Nova Scotia. Katie Brzezowski from Ottawa, out of Ottawa TFC. Maya Dussault from Gatineau, Quebec. Tessa Frangione from OSU here in Ottawa. Gabrielle Furland from Gloucester Hornets here in Ottawa. Alana Oriente from Montreal. Sabrina Mangiaricina, another Ottawa South United product, wins a gold medal in her first year. Emily Guillot from Gatineau, Quebec, a late addition to the team. Maya Smith, the star central defender from Ottawa, OSU. Flo Laroche, who from Mirabel, Quebec, comes to the team after a couple of serious knee injuries. And there's the captain, Adrienne Devlin from Stouffville, Ontario, and probably her final game at Mount Anthony Field. Vero Bolduc from Ottawa TFC, and Chanel Chaput, also from Ottawa TFC, coming up now. Olivia Chavanos from Valley, Nova Scotia. Eliane Gervais, how good was she this year from Gatineau, Quebec? And there's her midfield running mate, Eva Bouiti, a fan favorite from Montreal. Cassandra Provost from Actonville, Quebec. Rosie Cote from Quebec City. Nibos Lamini from OSU. Julianne Lacasse from Ottawa TFC. And then Mia Leclerc from Ottawa, West Ottawa Soccer Club.
We would now like to invite the captains of the U Ottawa Gee-Gees to come to the center and receive the 2023 OUA Championship banner and trophy.
And now the championship banner and trophy presentation. Looks like the captains are Maya Smith, Olivia Chavanos, and Adrienne Devlin, the three of the four defenders who ended off the game for Ottawa. Don't have a great angle on that from our camera, unfortunately, but I'm sure the photos are great.
I'm sure we'll see it once it's lifted high above the crowd.
Presenting your 2023 OUA Women's Soccer Champions! Thank you for being such great fans all season long, and we hope to see you back at Mount Anthony Field the 2024 season.
So that'll do it for us here at Mount Anthony Field. Declan DeBarp, any final words for the season?
It's been a great season for the University of Ottawa. Back-to-back champions. Queens came to the nation's capital, and despite the score, they were in this game for large stretches. The Gee-Gees will celebrate today, but refocus on Thursday for the national championships. I don't think that this is all that this team has to tell, and Queens hosting the national championship booked their ticket nonetheless to that tournament. Both teams will be looking for national championship gold.
Thank you so much for tuning in. For our director, Nicholas Macias, Declan DeVarp, and Graham Naismith, thank you so much for joining us. Looking forward to seeing you next season.